Got it. Okay, let's start the video. Set up. Present. Waiting for it to load. Nope. Okay, the irony of the DPRK by me, Haley. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, aka the DPRK, is such an ironic title for a country that isn't democratic or a republic for the people. This rogue state is better known as North Korea. It was founded on September 9th, 1948, after the collapse of the Japanese Empire and the Cold War split the peninsula in two, North Korea and South Korea. The first leader of North Korea was Kim Il-sung, and from then on, his family has led the country. The power has been passed down from father to son like a modern-day monarchy. In recent years, the DPRK has caught the attention of the global community because of its constant violations of human rights and nuclear threat against other countries. If the acts of North Korea are so bad, why don't we intervene? Many wonder. The answer is simple: power. A country first led by a man placed in power by the USSR who had spent time in the Red Army. Kim Il-sung knew that large armies and massive nuclear arsenals were the key to getting power. The power of the DPRK, has protected their sovereignty, allowing them to continue their violations against humanity. Their power has also protected them from conflict, which ensures their sovereignty, which is a big cycle of power protecting sovereignty and conflict and protecting them against power and against conflict as well. It's an endless cycle of torment. The UN needs to intervene in the DPRK, a sovereignty to liberate the North Korean people from this tyranny that they face every day. Why should they intervene in the DPRK? You wonder. You don't know. They are responsible for a lot of bad. The responsibility to intervene in the DPRK is atrocities against humanity and serve justice to those victims falls on the shoulders of the UN, the United Nations, an international organization made up of 193 sovereign nation states and founded in 1945 to ensure that heinous acts committed during World War II would never happen again. Hence their mantra, never again. There are 11 acts against humanity, which are all outlined in Article 7 of the Rome Statute, and if you're not aware, is one of the founding parts of the UN. Guess how many acts against humanity the North Korea has committed over the years? 11. There are only 11 acts. They've committed every single act against humanity. So let's run down the list so we understand the gravitas of this situation. Article 7A, murder. In the DPRK, public execution is commonplace. This barbaric practice is typically associated with the Middle Ages, but it is happening every day, not too far from where I'm sitting right now. Prisoners of North Korean political prison camps are executed in front of thousands, even thousands. Friends, family, everyday citizens. If one single tear runs down their faces as they watch someone they have known get executed, they are arrested and possibly sentenced to the same fate. Article 7B, extermination. North Korea uses similar tactics to the Nazi regime did in World War II. Inside North Korea, prison camps that they claim do not exist, gas chambers, lie in wait for more North Korean prisoners to be exterminated. Article 7C, enslavement. It is estimated that over 2.6 million are considered modern-day slaves in North Korea. That's 1 in every 10 citizens a victim of slavery right now. Article 7D, deportation or forceful transference of a population. Under the social political classification known as Sunbun, North Korea has mapped out the lives of its citizens and is able to move anyone they want from one end of the country to another in a moment's notice. Article 7E, imprisonment. As previously stated, there are political prison camps in the DPRK, despite their insistence on their being. You can find them on Google Maps. And the estimated 120,000 people are believed to be held in those prison camps. If one member of a family is arrested, 3 generations are also imprisoned in these prison camps. And many of those currently imprisoned don't know why they're there. Horrible conditions, starvation, torture are all found in these horrible hellholes. Article 7F, torture. As I've already said, prisoners are subjected to humiliation, sexual assault, and barbaric forms of torture while in prison camps. It is believed that North Koreans see them as less than human, less than animal. Article 7G, grave forms of sexual violence. Women imprisoned in this prison camp system are affected by sexual assaults from guards, officers of the law. Some of these women are even sold as sex slaves. They will never recover from these traumatic events. Article 7H, persecution. The philosophy of Duhei allows for the leaders of North Korea to be seen as godlike beings. This is the religion of North Korea. People flock to these statues made of bronze which, if you didn't know, in the Middle Ages was considered a symbol of Jesus Christ. And they place flowers every day. They worship them like gods. They have pictures of them in their houses. But if you practice another religion, another faith, public, you're most likely to be jailed. There are over 500 underground churches that exist in North Korea, to the DPRK's dismay. Anyone associated with these churches are killed. Recently, 33 men and women were killed because they were believed to be associated with these churches. Stories like Prisoner 24 have come to light on the internet and acts against, and it has become established that North Korea doesn't tolerate anything except Buche. It is estimated that 50,000 Christians are inside these prison camps. Article 7E. Enforced disappearance of a person. It is said that over 100,000 South Koreans have been sent to North Korea only to never be seen again during the early days of the North Korean War. This number has gone up dramatically in the past few years. These people, we don't even know if they're alive anymore. They might be gone. They might not. Their families don't even know. Article 7J. The crime of apathy. The North Korean ideology of North Korean race being pure and innocent, almost childlike, whereas the rest of the world is depicted as sinners, was initially introduced by the Japanese East Empire. But it has changed. It has continued and withstood the tell of time. North Korea still believing this to this day. It has also created circumstances where our North Korean people will not risk, quote unquote, polluting their blood with the impure races. And people who are not racially pure are forbidden from marrying citizens of North Korea. And last but not at all least, Article 7K. Other inhumane acts. I personally consider violating in Articles 1 through 30 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights an inhumane act. And yes, for those of you who don't know, there are only 30 articles in this document that was founded by the UN. It is a scary thought to know that a member of the UN, like North Korea, can violate every human rule. Every rule against humanity, every rule against human rights known to man, and not suffer any consequences. They're still part of the UN. But it's not a shock that they are. Seeing as the members of the UN Human Rights Council are China, who is mass as Muslim work camps are world-renowned. Bolivia, who's estimated around 70% of those imprisoned have not committed a crime. Colombia, who holds 109 political prisoners in jail without whose cases have not been documented and refuses to allow human rights groups to document them. The UN is responsible for intervening in sovereignty. You have countries that use their power to commit atrocities against humanity. But there has been no justice for victims of North Korea. Never again is the motto of the UN. I'm sure you've heard of it before. It's said on the news and social media. It's in reference to World War II. Horrible things that happened there. Never again. Never again. Never again. Doesn't matter how many times you say it. Doesn't change the facts. What's happening in the North Korea, that the UN continues to let go. Mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents that are suffering at the hands of the DPRK. How can the UN say these words, never again? And yet, here it is, happening again. The biggest ally of North Korea is China, with China having held a spot in the UN since its founding. China is the only country willing to trade with North Korea. It is also known best for deporting North Korean refugees forcefully back to North Korea, where they suffer in prison camps. And in 1961, China signed the Sino-North Korean Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation, and Mutual Assistance, which states that China has to intervene in conflicts against North Korea. And China has not enjoyed this clause. It has tried to get North Korea to remove it, to no avail. This is important to know because that is one of the reasons why China vetoes everything about North Korea that is as brought up in the Security Council. As a member of the Security Council, they have the power. This treaty is nearing its renewal date, and people are beginning to wonder, will China renew it, or will they leave it hanging? If they do leave it hanging, the UN has a chance to do something about the problem. How do you go about doing anything without causing an international incident that ends in a nuclear holocaust? North Korea has the second largest military in the world, the first largest being South Korea. The DPRK, it has 7,679,000 troops out of an approximate population of 25 million. There are 1,190,000 active soldiers, 6,300,000 on reserve, and 189,000 paramilitary personnel. North Korea also has an estimated 30 to 40 nuclear warheads. With this power that they hold, how could we do anything? It is believed that their nuclear warheads, some of which can reach altitudes up to 4,500 kilometers up in the sky, which could hit anywhere on the planet. That distance is 10 times higher than the International Space Station. The UN has a responsibility to intervene in North Korea as sovereignty and bring justice to the millions of people who suffer every day at the hands of the DPRK. But what can we do? Because of the DPRK's power, they've held out their sovereignty strong. Their abundance of troops and nuclear weapons of mass destruction. The DPRK has violated every human right committed. It every act against humanity, but the UN has done nothing to stop them in 72 years, 3 months, 5 days, as of the date of this recording. But what can we do? The purpose of the UN is to fight for rights of human beings, stop us from destroying ourselves. Mankind dreams of a peaceful planet without crime, poverty, but it's unlikely we will ever reach it because of countries like North Korea hiding behind their sovereignty, protected by their power, shielded from conflict. And with that unsettling and dreary note, I end the video. I hope you and yours are well, and I thank you for your time. The following are the resources I used to make this happen. Thank you. That'll be all.